And now it's my great pleasure to turn things over to another one of our DePaul's SPS graduate students, Tenen Gitte, who will serve as our moderator for this first morning's plenary session. And Tenen, apologies again if I mispronounced your name. Why don't you unmute your mic, introduce yourself, and tell us what you're studying at SPS before you begin to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I am Tenen Gitte. I am an international student from the Gambia, so I apologize in advance for the accent, in case you don't understand.
No apologies necessary.
Yes, I am a graduate student with DePaul, and I'm currently studying applied diplomacy. I've not declared a concentration yet, but I'm in the School of Applied Diplomacy, and I'm new to Chicago. I've been in the US for 2 years, and now I was in Missouri and moved to Chicago about 3 months ago, and I'm happy to be here. So for this second, I'd first of all like to welcome you to the second plenary session towards a response, and my panelists, presenters today are Caroljean, Willie, and Colin McSwiggan. To start with Carol, Caroljean Willie is a Sister of Charity of Cincinnati. She currently serves as the Program Director for Art Connection, an environmental center in Cincinnati, and serves on the steering committee for the Go Green Faith initiative sponsored by the Green Umbrella, an alliance of environmental organizations in the tri-state area, which is Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. I guess information which is good for me since I'm new to the country. She also serves on the Cincinnati Archdiocesan Task Force on Care for Creation. She's one of the founders of the SC Federation Charity Art Network and is a member of the Sustainability Committee at Mount St. Joseph University. Prior to her current ministry, she completed 2 terms of office as the NGO representative at the United Nations, where she worked in the areas of social development, education, environmental sustainability, human trafficking, interfaith dialogue, and poverty eradication for the Sisters of Charity Foundation. Welcome to the session, Caroljean, Willie, and I open the floor to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Greetings from Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Sister Caroljean Willie, better known as CJ, a Sister of Charity of Cincinnati. This morning's presentation will be in 2 parts. I will speak on what our congregation has done to our Mother House properties to become more sustainable, as well as the work of our environmental center, Earth Connection. Colleen McSwiggan, chair of the Sustainability Committee at our university, Mount St. Joseph, will share the sustainability initiatives that the university has taken and is continuing to take to become a model for environmental sustainability. Our congregation became aware early on of the damage being done to our planet. Our sister Paula Gonzalez was a science professor at our college. When she saw the picture of Earth from outer space for the first time, it changed her life. She gave up teaching to devote herself full-time to increase people's awareness of our responsibility to care for God's creation, to help us to understand that we are planetary citizens. In her own words, she challenged us. She told us that the image grabbed me by the hair of the head and said, "Paula, you're a planetary citizen." And ever since, that's the way I've lived. Being an influential leader, she told us, you have to model what you are trying to teach or lead. You have to be it. You've got to do it. Don't talk about it. Don't write books about it. Just do it. And so our vision statement tells us that as a community of charity, living the gospel as expressed in the charism of Elizabeth Seton and Margaret George, we will strive to be persons who choose to live simply in a complex world, committed to the healing of our global home. I'd like to show you a very short video that kind of gives an overview of what we are doing. On the page Stories of Hope, you will find some of the information both about what our congregation is doing as well as what Earth Connection is doing. We were awarded by the Archdiocese of Cincinnati the Laudato Si Community Award for the work that the congregation has done. This is an award given out each year to schools, parishes, and congregations that have demonstrated through their actions a commitment to caring for our common home.
In the 1970s, Sister of Charity and biologist Paula Gonzalez began to notice the ecological implications of our reliance on fossil fuels. She also began to identify ways for us to change our behaviors. First, she transformed an old chicken coop into a solar home. Then she initiated the repurposing of a garage into a 3,900 square foot Earth Education and Eco-Spirituality Center called Earth Connection. This opened in the early 1990s. The building features an experimental geothermal and solar system, natural lighting, super insulation, floor tiles made of waste glass, a wall made of aluminum cans, and carpeting constructed from recycled plastic bottles.
In 2015, the Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati did an energy study of our mother house, educating ourselves about the particulars of our energy footprint, and now we've acted on our learnings. We partnered with Malink Industries in Milford, Ohio, who helped us consider ways to make our property more ecologically sustainable, along with installing a geothermal and solar system for houses on our mother house grounds. We followed the advice of Malink to replace our mother house kitchen hood, which controls the ventilation and conditions the air by not constantly running.
The study also revealed that our incandescent lights in the mother house were emitting 512 metric tons of carbon dioxide annually. We're in the process of replacing these 10,500 light bulbs with LED bulbs, which are 90% more efficient.
Pope Francis reminds us, social love moves us to devise larger strategies to halt environmental degradation and to encourage a culture of care which permeates all of society. We Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati are choosing to live these words on a daily basis by lightening our carbon footprint.
I'd like now to talk about Earth Connection. In 1990, Paula envisioned Earth Connection as a model of alternative energy and sustainable ecological design. It was one of the very first in the Cincinnati area to take on this aspect of sustainability. She began with volunteers in a 4-car garage that was located on our properties. They began to construct a building which came to be known as Earth Connection. And I'd like to take you on a little tour, both outside and inside of Earth Connection, and show you what it is that we are doing. We have a very small staff. There are just 3 of us. Sister Winnie is our facilities coordinator and a master gardener. Associate Sue DiTullio is our administrative assistant, and of course, that means she does everything. And I take care of the programming and outreach. So welcome to Earth Connection. As you look outside of EC, you see wonderful natural flora and fauna. We have a large expanse of property which is used by children as young as 5, right up through adult. There are flowers everywhere. As you walk in the front entrance, on the left side of the doorway is a mural by Professor Karl Zuelke from Mount St. Joseph University. This is a fountain which we have outside, and I'll tell you a funny story about this fountain because it was originally supposed to be inside the building. And Sister Winnie and I spent hours and days looking at different fountains before we both decided we liked this one. But when they installed it on the inside of the building, it sounded like all of the toilets flushing at the same time. And so we decided it was much better outside than indoors. As you enter the vestibule, you'll see a wooden sculpture of St. Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of ecology. On the left-hand side of the entrance is a creation mandala that was handmade by tribal women in the Philippines. Paula wanted to extend the 4-car garage to include space for offices, a resource center, a kitchen, and more. She looked around to find out what kind of construction would be the most durable and was told that it was timber frame. So the L-shaped structure of the building added onto the garages is a traditional timber frame. We have an experimental geothermal type solar heating system which stores heat in the ground during summer for use during the winter. We have super insulated walls, ceilings, and windows. Lots of reused and recycled materials. EC was featured in 1995 publication of the Union of Concerned Scientists entitled Renewables Are Ready. This is the timber frame construction. And one of the things to note with that is that the entire timber frame construction was constructed in a warehouse and brought to the site of earth connection to raise as in an Amish barn raising. The whole thing is put together with pegs. And when they put together the entire structure, there was only one peg that was 1/4 inch off, which I think is a miracle. The tiles on the floor, as mentioned in the video, are made by recycled glass. Notice the tree trunk in the entryway. The placement of the tree trunk is an Asian custom, which is to remind people that the wood used in the construction was once part of a living organism. The earth room is our large meeting space. This is a mural on a curved wall depicting the earth from outer space. The carpet throughout the earth room and resource center was made from recycled plastic bottles. It is extremely durable. This carpet is about 15 years old. This is the curved wall on the other side of the mural. It is made of aluminum cans and cement. We have a display area where we can show visitors how the wall was constructed, as well as plastic bottles to show how the carpet was made. This beautiful geode was a gift to Earth Connection. After Sister Paula's death several years ago, many people sent donations, which enabled us to purchase this fountain in her memory. It's very quiet. This is our sun space, and it assists in the passive heating aspect of the building. We have both active and passive solar. An active, meaning that there is mechanical assisted solar heating system, is the primary source of heat. There are two parts. 16 flat plate solar collectors are located on the south-facing roof. These are used to collect heat and warm the building. A solar collector is a simple box with a sealed glass top with a copper absorption plate above a layer of insulation. Tubing attached to the plate contains a mixture of distilled water and food-grade glycol antifreeze, which runs through the collectors and is heated by the sun. There you'll see the collectors. PV panels of photovoltaic cells are put together in an array. You'll see that up above the other. This array is used to absorb and directly convert sunlight into electricity. EC has an array of 20 PV panels with a maximum output of 1.3 kilowatts. It is in our future plans to increase the number of panels to greater increase the efficiency of the building. The EC grid connected system uses an inverter. It's seen here to convert the electric current from DC to AC. In our mechanical room, you'll see two sets of pipes that direct the flow of heat. Water and antifreeze mixture is pumped inside this room, where during sunny winter months, it flows through 1/2 mile of polyethylene tubing embedded in the concrete floor. The heat radiates up through the floor to warm the air and is circulated effectively by ceiling fans. On the left, you can see tubing directed outward through the concrete wall. During the summer, the water from the collectors is pumped through this tubing. This tubing is buried in 7 concentric circles around the perimeter of the building. This earth bank is 4 feet deep and heavily insulated to trap heat throughout the summer. The water in the tubing heats the earth where the heat is stored for use during the winter months, when it is drawn up through the heat pump. Through the heat pump, the hot water is transferred to air and is distributed through a duct system. Another function of the heat pump is to provide summer cooling by drawing warm air out of the building and storing it underground for future cold weather use. This is our kitchen area, and all of the appliances, as well as the cabinetry in the kitchen area, are recycled. It helps that our university is across the street, and at the time EC was being constructed, the university was renovating their dorms. So much of the furniture, doors, window frames, and more that the university no longer needed are now part of EC. We also conserve resources of water evident in our low flush toilets and water faucets, and also conserve electricity with lights which turn on and off automatically. The stalls in the bathroom are made from hardwood door panels. We compost everything possible, and all of our compost is used in our garden. We also recycle everything. Our resource center is used for small group meetings, as well as for books and videos and other materials that people might like to use in their effort to understand sustainability. This is another part of the timber frame construction with a stairway leading up to the second floor. On the second floor are located two offices and an area in between the two offices, which has a desk and computer for our administrative assistant. We offer a wide variety of programs. This is just a sampling of some of the programs we have offered on eco-spirituality, Laudato Si, gardening with native plants, sustainability across the curriculum, celebrating creation through music and dance, what is climate change and why should we care, journaling with nature, eco-art, exploring the environment through multiple intelligences, geothermal energy, green burials, God's gift to birds, solar power, and more. I do some of the presentations, but I also invite a number of our sisters who have expertise in different areas. We also invite outside consultants to come and share in their areas of expertise. For instance, with geothermal and solar power, we invited Malink, the company that installed our geothermal and solar on our mother house properties, to come and share their wisdom and knowledge. Sister Joyce Richter gave a presentation on green burials, which is now offered to our sisters as an option. One of the things I participated in at the United Nations was the Interfaith Committee. And we offered a series on spirituality and sustainability because we recognized that that was an issue that crossed all of our doctrinal lines and could bring us together. So I've tried to reproduce that here in Cincinnati and have invited people from a variety of religious traditions to come and share their faith traditions' approach to sustainability. The gentleman here is Swamiji Paramishananda, who was a colleague of mine at the United Nations. I invited him to come to represent the Hindu tradition, but also because he is one of the authors of the Hindu Declaration on Environmental Sustainability. We're also a destination for field trips for elementary, secondary, community, technical college, and university level students. We host drum circles periodically, hosted by one of our sisters who is a drummer from New Orleans. Monthly, we offer movies that matter on different environmental topics. This is just a small selection of those we have offered. We also do outreach. In the Cincinnati area, we offer presentations for parishes and religious congregations, presentations at local universities, and staff development for teachers at the elementary and secondary levels. Beyond Cincinnati, we have done presentations in multiple US states, as well as in foreign countries. There have been some changes, obviously, due to COVID-19. So now we offer our presentations via bi-monthly webinars. And again, I offer some of them, but also invite other people with expertise to share their wisdom through our bi-monthly webinars. We are also currently designing kits for elementary students that will provide a deeper understanding of an Earth-related topic, as well as activities and quizzes. These will be made available through our website to schools as well as parents. We're also working on a webinar for elementary students with a series of books, followed by activity suggestions. We're also hoping to model outside of Earth Connection how different products can be used in recycling efforts. And so we're looking at different types of landscaping that might help to invite others to choose to do some of these things in their homes. So this is not there yet, but these are some of the ideas we have. Flower gardens using recycled tires, using plastic bottles for a variety of reasons to put plants in, as well as to create borders around the garden. We have numerous Girl Scout troops who have visited and hopefully again will be able to visit Earth Connection. We offer an Earth Connection patch to them just for coming to learn about environmental sustainability. During the 2 hours they spend with us, we do activities outdoors as well as indoors. One of the projects that was a brainstorm of our administrative assistant, Sue, was something that she had read about called Caps to Benches Project. And Green Tree Plastics is an organization located in Evansville, Indiana, which takes plastic lids and turns them into benches. And so we began with the Girl Scouts to collect these plastic lids, but it turned into be much more than just the Girl Scouts who participated. We received caps from our mother house, from Bailey Village, from organizations all over Cincinnati. But beyond Cincinnati, we have people mailing us caps from all over the country. This is an example of what the caps look like when they arrive. And here we have some Girl Scouts, as well as some of our neighbors who help us to sort the caps, make sure that they're all the type of cap that can be used with no metal in it, and that they're all clean. This is before, and now here's our very first bench with Sue and Winnie went to pick up about 3 weeks ago. We're now saving caps for another bench as well as a picnic table. We offer communications on our website with a variety of different things in it which help people to learn more about sustainability as well as the events we host. You can find us on Facebook, read our quarterly newsletter on our website. We also offer Earth-inspired calendars for the season of creation, Advent, and Lent. We have a large garden at Earth Connection with 26 raised beds, which Sister Winnie takes care of. She has multiple volunteers, both from our college, our university now. Here's an example of a couple of the girls who came over to help begin the planting of the seeds early in spring before they can be planted outside. This is done in our sun space. This is another of our volunteers, June, who came and watered the plants each day. So you can see the variety of volunteers that we have in our garden, including the entire football team from the university. They helped do a lot with the outdoor landscaping needs. This year, one of our cabbages weighed 9 pounds. All of the veggies that we grow are donated to a free health center. But before I tell you a little bit more about that, I want to tell you that although this looks like a cucumber, it's not. It's a loofah sponge. When I first came here, I had come from tropical and semi-tropical areas earlier in my ministries and had learned to grow loofah sponges, and so wanted to try to see if we could grow them in Cincinnati. And this is one of the ones we grew. We've grown multiple ones since that time. All of the produce is weighed so that we can tell from year to year how it differs. And as I mentioned, the produce that we grow is given freely to the Good Samaritan Free Health Center. Sister Annie, one of our sisters, is a nutritionist there. And she helps the people who receive the produce to learn how to use some of the veggies that we grow in our country that are not familiar to some of them who come from other areas. So the staff at the Good Samaritan Free Health Center packages all of our veggies and then puts recipes in for the people. We also have Beehive on our property, which is taken care of by Dr. Jean Kritsky at the university. So we're happy to share Earth Connection with you and what our Sisters of Charity congregation is doing. We invite you to come and visit us the next time you're in Cincinnati. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Caroljean. That was really impressive. I mean, I was like, how can I copy this and take it back to the Gambia?